Investors, government officials, foreigners and locals came together in Canouan on Monday, April 10th to witness the official opening of the multi-million-dollar GLOSSY Bay Marina. The yachting facility is still expanding and is part of the government's initiative to facilitate foreign investments. SVG-TV's Sharon Garwe was among members of the media who covered the event and files this report.
Some 20 years ago by multi-millionaire Anthony Saladino has been realized with the opening of the GLOSSY Bay Marina on Monday, the 10th of April 2017 on the Grenadine island of Canouan. CEO of GLOSSY Bay Marina Limited, Eleanor Korash, says the $250 million luxury marina began with extensive work by blasting with 27 tons of explosives for quarrying, displacing almost 1 million cubic meters of dirt, pouring 31,000 cubic yards of concrete, and lining up 3,200 tons of reinforcement steel. She outlined that the foundation spans some 27 feet high and 5 feet thick, and that they have ensured that the facility preserves the natural beauty of the environment.
2 acres of stone paving were laid along the quays and 300 light posts designed as not to interfere with the neighboring airport. The Marina Captainry with guest bathrooms and laundry facilities, and Shenanigans, a trendy beach club with a lovely garden surrounded by pergolas and a pool with breathtaking views over the Grenadines, complete the offer to public and guests.
Chairman of GLOSSY Bay, Delmont Desmond, commended those involved in the execution of the vision realized by Saladino. The billionaire expressed hope to have Vincentians comprehensively trained to improve themselves and the nation.
Environmental responsibility to St. Vincent and the people of Canouan to enhance and develop this island and to make it one of the most notable vacation spots in the whole world. Applying Vincentians, training Vincentians, and Vincentians leading the hospitality service that we will offer here.
Over the 2 years of its construction, the project has employed hundreds of workers, with peaks of 700 tradesmen on site, with 95% of them being Vincentians and rentals billing $130,000 per month. Reiterating the importance of pumping investment into the country was Prime Minister and Minister of Finance, Dr. Ralph Gonsalves, who described the GLOSSY Bay Marina in Canouan as an example of wholesome development. The Prime Minister called on Vincentians to work in unison with the terms of modernity, but however advised the investors to be sensitive to the values and traditions of locals.
There's going to be the need for attitudes to be altered, to change, for traditionalism to come to terms more efficaciously with modernity. And I want to say to the investors that they must be sensitive to these matters, including the values of the traditional community and certain common sets of rights. Our people are very good-natured people. And in this small geographical space, we have to live and let live.
The GLOSSY Bay Marina is set to become the most, if not the world famous in the Caribbean. And some $250 million already invested. We are looking forward to see what further developments this island of Canouan will receive and the nation as the GLOSSY Bay Marina further develops. Reporting for SVG Television News, I am Sharon Garwe.
Thank you, Sharon. Both locals and foreigners in attendance at Monday's event say they too were impressed by the beauty of the marina, which still has a very down-to-earth feel to it.
I am most impressed because I did am here and I don't even know where part of the island I am. So I'm very happy.
And it's just one of the most chic places that you could find in this part of the Caribbean. It is an absolute winner. And it's spectacular.
I think it's a great opportunity for St. Vincent and the Grenadines, especially for the southern islands.
Great day. I've been waiting for this day since more than 10 years, since Antonio has the idea to do the marina in joint venture with the government. And yes, I think it's a very important day for Canouan and for the Grenadines.
Yeah. The marina is very, and the jet boat, everything is welcome, very, very, very.
Well, we are actually guests on his boat, and we really enjoy it and enjoy being here.
And what a fantastic world-class marina. Seriously, wonderful facilities, absolutely beautifully appointed, lovely staff, lovely people. We're just very happy.
Oh, it's absolutely fantastic. It's definitely something that needs to be here in the middle of the Grenadines. Perfect spot for guests and anybody who wants to visit this beautiful part of the world.
It's a good venture. I'm glad to see it happen. I've had a unique vantage point working at the airport, so we've seen all the construction happening. It's good to see. We're at the airport, so we see everything that has been going on from the very inception. And now at this point, the opening, it's a good feeling.
It's absolutely gorgeous. We're very, very pleased about this. We think it's going to make huge, huge difference to yachting in this country. It has to.
It's actually a dream for me for the past years since in Anthony Saladino time. I have traveled to the length and breadth of the Caribbean. I know what a marina actually brings to a community. And I do, you know, sooner or later we'll see a lot of different changes.
We feel extraordinarily well. We are friends of one of the investors, and we are so happy to be here. Ceremony fantastic, the facility extraordinary, and we will be back next year to see the facility completed, and we are very happy and we enjoy a lot the holiday here and the spot. Fantastic island, fantastic people, very good, excellent.
Parliamentary representative for the Southern Grenadines, Terence Oliver, who was also in attendance, expressed his satisfaction with the facility, which he believes will benefit not only foreigners but also locals.
It's now fully operational and at maximum use would be a good tourism product for St. Vincent and the Grenadines. We have seen the possibility of not only yachties coming here but high-end yachts, and the type of business would attract that type of business to St. Vincent and the Grenadines. There are lots of opportunities here also for our locals to have not just menial jobs but proper jobs. I was talking to the guy who is in charge of the management of this facility, and he was talking about getting young people, getting them trained to enable, to handle the skill jobs and things like that. So it's not just about bringing the people, but also providing top class employment for people throughout St. Vincent and the Grenadines.
Mixed reactions continue to be expressed here in relation to the government's indication to ban the catching and killing of orcas and flipper whales. On the Views and Issues program on the WeFM last Sunday, some of the persons who called in on the radio program said they agreed that marine mammals should not be killed, while others were of the view that the preservation of what they termed as Vincentian culture and tradition should not be affected. Educator Philbert John and social activist Cecil Ryan, who hosted the program, are of the view that the decision of the ban will have significant impact on this country's tourism sector and further question the future of those who make a living from the cherished tradition.
How many of them really putting themselves in the situation of the traditional fisherman? And there are other traditions. The logical consequence of all these things is that a tourist may visit one of these days during Carnival and see we gyrate and say that look too lewd. We're not coming back here. So we might have to ban Carnival and gyrating too. So whatever traditions we have that might offend the visitors for the almighty dollar, we may have to sanitize them and somehow make them palatable to the visitor.
John added that while the authorities should take the responsibility in promoting Vincentian culture and practices, persons must also learn to appreciate the way of life in SVG.
And you say to a visitor, this is a country which the whale is haunted. We go whale watching, so you may come up on an incident where you see them in action. You can choose to stay on the ship or you can still come.
Yeah, that's another way of managing the whole thing. Information, yeah.
And you see, there should be some kind of appeal in the artisanal or the traditional approach to fishing. While countries like Norway, Japan have evolved tremendous technology, we still go to the a pirogue and a small gun. Sometimes we do it by hand. we can't compare to what is happening in them countries. And you should, as a visitor, you should find some appeal with man versus nature, with very little technology, just man versus mammal, versus animal in that particular case. You could document it and celebrate it.
The family of the late Denzel Rogers is somewhat at peace today after his body was retrieved from among rocks in the Black Point area. Rogers, who was a resident of Byron, a student of the North Union Secondary School, drowned while swimming in the waters of Black Point when he allegedly encountered difficulties with the rip current. In an interview with SVG-TV earlier today, Chief Petty Officer with the SVG Coast Guard Services, Lennox Williams, said the entire Coast Guard Service expressed deepest condolences to the family of the deceased. Highlighting some safety tips for swimmers and boat operators, Williams noted that while the Coast Guard responds within 5 minutes of getting a report, persons must also ensure that they think safe and smart as well as operate within safety parameters. He further urged persons to be very vigilant of the areas in which they conduct their water activities.
To lose someone loved, so we know how it feels. And the Coast Guard is indeed touched by it. Anyone who facing the seawater environment, this is the environment in which we function, and we like to extend everything warm-welt and warm-felt about it. We hope that you recover soon. Use the internet, you research all this information, and you can get first-hand information, you can get people's experiences. You do not have to learn from your own mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes. Learn from the news that is going out every day. Listen to the news, you would have heard somebody has drowned, somebody would have found themselves in difficulties, and so on and so forth. So from the Coast Guard, we ask that you enjoy yourself. You know, we're young, we old, the water is there, is part of our culture, part of our happiness. You use the environment for fun. Enjoy yourself and be safe.
There must be a collaborative approach taken in the fight against the Zika virus and its vector, the Aedes aegypti mosquito. This was a statement made by Cuthbert Knights, Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Health, Wellness and the Environment, at the opening of a 3-day workshop to further sensitize hoteliers, community health aides and registered nurses about the Zika virus and its vector. Knights noted that the fight against the mosquito which spreads the virus is a significant one which requires all hands on deck.
It has to be a team effort. It has to be a collective approach. This issue is far too important for us not to have a team effort and a team approach. The ministry saw it fit to bring you here to ensure that as a team we build capacity and we join in the fight. They always say that a train has many links, and no one train can form the entire link. No one link can form the entire train. So all the links have to come together to form a train. So we need you as EHOs. We need all of the other stakeholders from the various agencies and ministries.
Knight stated that the Zika virus can have negative implications on the tourism industry of St. Vincent and the Grenadines, but expressed confidence in public health officials' ability to control the vector.
Again, I don't have to school you. If St. Vincent and the Grenadines is earmarked as a country which is infested with mosquitoes, which contributes to mosquito-borne diseases, nobody wants to come here. Nobody wants to get sick. And you are aware of that. So we have to make sure our environment is rid of these deadly creatures to the extent that we can. Might not be entirely possible in a very ideal way to get rid of every single mosquito. We are trained people. We are professional people. We know how to control them. And we know how to control the spread of them. And this is what we are confident about. And this is why you're here.
The greatest curse upon humanity today is fatherlessness. That's the view of Project Coordinator for Project Men 2020, Conroy Huggins, as he spoke at the recently concluded conference designed to inculcate a sense of responsibility in men using the Bible as a template. Huggins noted that fatherlessness plagues SVG as well as the region, with this nation having 65% of homes without the presence of a father, a situation which puts a strain on the mother as well as lead to a host of societal ills.
And the mother was not designed for that kind of weight and that kind of load. And as a result, she's frustrated. Abuse eventually step in, and all different form of abuse will come in. And then children become very vulnerable. And the woman themselves become vulnerable. So before you know it, she has a child for one man, another man, and another man. And throughout the Caribbean, we find this to be the case, where one woman has several children. I don't want to say different fathers, several men. Because the father, Abba, father, sustains, not just he produce, right, niggas? He produce, yes, the seed, but the seed that is produced must be sustained. Must be sustained. And when a man runs from that responsibility, then he neglects the responsibility of fatherhood. And that is the greatest curse that we are having in our nation.
Highlighting statistics which show scholastic advantage if there is the presence and interaction of a father, Huggins encouraged fathers to play a greater role in the lives of their children.
They love mom, you know, but they always want to see daddy. Brothers, our role is really significant. School-age children of involved fathers are also better academic achievers. And that's common sense. When we did social studies, they tell you that for the nuclear family. They tell you children, and the statistics show it, children who grew up in a nuclear family where you have father, you have husband and wife, father and mother in the same home, under the same roof, the children tend to do better in school. We have several teachers in the audience, and I'm certain they could also back me up, and I'm a teacher too. So, you know, most of the time when a child is given problems in school, the first thing I try to find out is the daddy's involvement. That's the first thing I find out. And by the time I'm done with that, I don't get all the details. The first thing.
The Project Men coordinator added that from a spiritual standpoint, the image of God which is derived by children is from the image of their father, and highlighted the spiritual consequence of the lack of a father in their lives.
The absent father portrays an absent God. The absent father portrays an absent God. And that is why 65% and more of our emerging generation cannot reflect anything about God, because they do not have an experience. There's no image bearer of Christ that reflects God. The disconnected father portrays a what? A disconnected God. You see how important the role of father is? The permissive father portrays a permissive God. The neglecting father portrays a neglecting God. And that is where people always blame God. Where is God? But it's the neglect that they suffer within that they're literally repeating. And most times it came from father.
The East Caribbean Group of Companies Foundation continues to support the development of education here. Through the UWI Open Campus, the ECGC Foundation awarded 2 students of the Open Campus with bursaries amounting to a total of $4,000. Recipients Kimron Shallow and Hannah Hamilton were all smiles as they received the financial aid at a ceremony today. According to head of the UWI Open Campus, Deborah Dalrymple, the students are being selected based on their academic performance.
Second such ceremony as the ECGC Foundation has also awarded 2 students in a like manner in semester 1. The criteria dictates that of the 2 bursaries per semester given by the foundation, one should be in the business field and the other from any other discipline. Today we are pleased to congratulate Mr. Kimron Shallow, who is pursuing a Bachelor of Science degree in Economics, and Ms. Hannah Hamilton, who is a Bachelor of Education student with a specialization in educational leadership. I need to let you know that the students are not simply selected, but that they must be continuing students in good academic standing. And I have no doubt that both of our students are in line for upper second, or indeed should I say first class honors. The students at the open campus are by and large adult learners who must juggle family life and its responsibilities, manage time, and especially their financial resources efficiently.
Dalrymple said the bursaries would assist the students greatly as distance learning comes with its challenges and expenses.
Many of our students make tremendous sacrifice for the goal of achieving a degree. These bursaries of $2,000 each may very well make the difference between a leave of absence or completing yet another semester. The ECGC as a corporate citizen clearly takes its responsibility seriously and recognizes that an investment in education is an investment in the development of the country and of its people. The UWI Open Campus looks forward to further collaboration with the ECGC as we endeavor to meet the educational needs of our Vincentian people.
ECGC's marketing manager Rachel Haslam spoke on the notable work of the ECGC Foundation, stressing that education and health are two of the Foundation's primary focus.
ECGC believes that a strong and dynamic education system is fundamental to strengthening our economy and raising our standard of living. The initiative then to set up the foundation was designed to remove the financial stumbling blocks which could prevent students from pursuing their dreams and educational goals. Hence, the foundation is yet another investment in the human resource development. We also, one of the other aims is to contribute to the welfare of less fortunate people in our society and to enhance the educational opportunities for young Vincentians. Through annual financial assistance, mainly to two groups of students, the decision was taken that we would focus the donations in two areas. Firstly, those pursuing studies at the St. Vincent and the Grenadines Community College Division of Technical and Vocational Studies in the areas of engineering, agricultural science, and business studies, and for students pursuing studies at the UE Open Campus, right here in Kingstown.
Last year, the ECGC Foundation awarded full scholarships to 8 students of the SVG Community College.